Alrighty, this is today's job. Pretty straightforward. It's just literally all slurry seal. Let me zoom in a little bit. Just some ugly ass alligator cracks. So what we're gonna do, we're going to put over there, there's a little unpaved section that he wants to extend the driveway. We're gonna do a little driveway extension, slurry over the base rock, and then there's some patches over here where we have to fill in some potholes. We're gonna fill in some potholes with some slurry seal mixed with 3/4 inch rock. And then there's a conduit over there you'll see that needs to be dug out, install the conduit, and then, yeah, just slurry over it. Got some alligator cracks right here. See, all the trucks are here. We're still waiting on one more truck, but pretty much all the trucks are ready to rock and roll. Right here and on is where we're gonna put some type 3, because you can see what's happening right here. Just the alligators get super big. You can tell everything's just going to the side and needs a little more structural support. Yeah, the videos don't do it justice, but dude, some of these cracks are like 1.5 inches wide. I mean, 1 3/4 wide. It's pretty ugly. But all of this, basically from that mark over there to that mark over there, is gonna get type 3 slurry seal. Check it out. We got all Fords, by the way. No Dodge, no Ram, no Chevy, no GMC. Ford on Ford on Ford, because that's the best truck brand. American. And we got some potholes like that. This is probably like a 3 or 4 inch dip. Video does not do it justice. And then type 3, like I said, is all the way from over there to that point over there. And then, yes sir, got all Fords, Ford. Yeah, everything's pretty much just copy and paste. Autopilot type 2. Here's the base rock we're gonna put over there in that driveway extension. And then we got the type 3 slurry, which is 3/8 inch rock over here. Check it out. And the rest is, yeah, like I said, just copy and paste type 2. And then over here, we're doing a driveway extension. So right here, we're gonna put that, set of base rock. We're gonna put it right here, grade this a little bit, put the base rock, compact it, then put a layer of type 3, compact the type 3, then a layer of type 2. And then, yeah, besides that, I mean, like I said, it's just a bunch of type 2. Got my guy clearing up the edge. Only way the slurry can drip on the side. We're gonna skip the concrete. The guy didn't want to do the concrete. I said just go over it to make it look uniform, but at the end of the day, it's what it is. Over here, we got this little oil spot. We're doing these spots, which is, I mean, at the end of the day, the better way to do it, dig it out and put asphalt or whatever, but we're just gonna torch it down just a little bit, just for budget reasons. And then the rest is, yeah, just slurry. Oh, actually, there's some type 3 over there. I'll show you right now. But, yeah, the rest is just slurry. No crack fill today, no asphalt, just a bunch of slurry seal. She's got this compacted with the roller, doing the edge with the vibrating plate. Check out this base. That's a good fucking base. Look at that. Cool. See how it moves around like that? Spongy. It's called I don't know if it's an actual term for it, but we call it, and where I was raised, we call it a base slurry, where everything inside basically gets turned to mush, like a slurry, and then that turns into a rock, like concrete slurry or concrete or whatever you want to call it. See? Alrighty, they got this type 3 slurry seal done. Nothing too much, just like 3/8, ½ inch or so on just this section, just to kind of level it out a little bit. Just to level it out a little bit. Yes sir, check it out. Leveling course. They're getting it done over there. For the meantime, have my guy burn this. This is an oil spot, so we burn it and then just dig it down like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. And then I got a grinder, just a battery powered grinder, and then just cut slits into it, kind of like tic-tac-toe. That way it grabs onto it better. And I left a lot of the aggregate sticking out. Alrighty, so here are my guys laying the satisfying part, the type 2 slurry seal. Before we got to this point, we went over the really bad alligator cracked areas with a heavier type 3 slurry seal. Then over the potholes and the deeper areas, we mixed extra 3/4 inch rock into the slurry to build those sections up and just give it some more body. Now they're coming through when they're laying the final slurry seal overlay over everything. So this customer actually contacted me specifically for slurry seal because he was tired of seal coating over and over and over again. And they also slurry sealed the main road through his association about 3 years ago. So over that time span, he noticed that the slurry seal was still holding up better than the driveways that were seal coated way more recently. Like I'm talking, the slurry seal was in better condition than driveways that were literally seal coated like a month ago. Especially the ones that are like a year or 2 years old. The seal coats were basically washed away and the slurry seal was still doing a-okay. But the main road gets hundreds of times more traffic than any one driveway. So he basically said, dude, whatever's on that road, that's what I want on my property. So Sealcoat definitely has its place. I'm not saying that it's a garbage product. It's a good protective coating when the asphalt's already in decent shape. You mainly just want to restore the black appearance, but the problem is when people try to sell it like Sealcoat is something that it's not. Like, no, it's not going to build any real thickness. It's not going to fill any major imperfections or any minor imperfections even. It's not going to become a new asphalt wearing layer. Slurry seal is different because it has actual rock aggregate, emulsion, cement, additives, structural bonding fibers into it. It's basically like a thin, flexible asphalt overlay. Now, it's not magic, man. Cracks are eventually going to come through. That's a fact, especially if the base or the ground underneath keeps moving. If the bottom moves, the top moves, top cracks. That's just how things work. You can also have small areas that wear differently and need maintenance later, but that's besides the point. Dude, sometimes when I'm bidding a job, another guy will come in and tell the customer, don't do slurry seal, it's gonna crack. And I'm like, dude, yeah, eventually some cracks are gonna reflect through. We never said slurry seal was gonna stop the ground from moving. Obviously, we're not digging that thing out 6 inches and, stabilizing the ground and all of that. It's like stucco. You can have perfectly good stucco, but if the framing is bad or the footing is moving, or maybe the footing is good, but it's on a bad foundation, or maybe the foundation could be 2 feet thick for all we know, but the concrete is sitting on unstable soil or like a big clay pocket or something, the top is eventually going to move and crack. That doesn't mean the stucco itself is self-destructing. It just means something underneath it moved. Not a big deal. Cracks are normal. They're on basically every street, every parking lot, every driveway. Like, bro, walk into any Walmart and tell me you don't see a single crack. But you're dogging on a slurry seal because it might crack later, then you recommend the Sealcoat, which doesn't make sense because Sealcoat doesn't even cover the cracks at the time of application. Like, dude, when I think about it, I'm like, bro, you can't be serious. But dude, at least slurry seal gives you a completely overlaid surface. It actually adds material and resets the whole surface. Sealcoat just paints around the same cracks, and then they're gonna tell you, oh man, it's gonna buy you another winter, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, bro, it's not gonna buy you another winter. And I'm gonna say this, a Sealcoat is not going to buy you another winter if you have cracked asphalt like in this video. And the big difference is, even when a crack eventually reflects back through the slurry seal, you're still keeping the material that you paid for everywhere else. You're still adding oil, rock, fibers, and body to the pavement instead of just applying another thin coating that eventually just wears away. And then people bring up tire marks too. Like, yeah, fresh slurry is gonna show power steering marks and power indentations because it's a thicker layer made of actual asphalt emulsion and rock. Those marks usually get matte down as the material cures and gets through traffic. The difference is when slurry seal mats down, the material is still there and it gets compressed into the surface and stayed part of the layer. Where with Sealcoat, when the tire scuffs it, you're wearing through the thin coating and you're exposing the old asphalt underneath. Then it keeps scuffing and wearing off until all of the coating is basically gone. And that's the whole difference. Slurry seal is a layer, Sealcoat is just a coat. And this is an example I always give to people as well. Let's look at a 30-year maintenance plan. So let's say you Sealcoat every single 2 years over 30 years. So over a course of 30 years, that's 15 coats of Sealcoat. Every single one of those coats is going to fade away and wash out. And after all that time, you're basically looking at the exact same original asphalt underneath with the same cracks, the same surface, and even then, you're still thinking about some kind of asphalt overlay, crack fill, crack repairs, all of that. Now, let's say you slurry seal every single 5 years over 30 years. That's 6 slurry seal layers, right? So depending on the application and the condition of the surface, each layer can average somewhere around 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. Theoretically, that's around 1.5 to 2.25 inches of material applied over a course of 30 years that you kept. Obviously, it's not going to remain one perfectly measured block everywhere because pavement wears, compacts, and moves, but you're still stacking actual asphalt and aggregate over time. You can look back years later and physically see where your maintenance went. You're actually keeping more of your investment instead of applying something that gradually just washes away and leaves you back to the original asphalt like a Sealcoat does. And slurry seal isn't as expensive as people make it sound. Let's say you Sealcoat every 2 years and you slurry seal every 6 years. That means you would Sealcoat 3 times during the same period as one slurry seal application. In most cases, slurry seal does not cost 3 times as much as Sealcoat. So when you look at the amount of material, the lifespan, and what you're actually adding to the pavement, slurry seal is actually cheaper, and it makes more sense because you're keeping your investment. A typical Sealcoat might be applied at around 1 pound to 1.5 pounds per square yard. Those are real numbers. On this job, the final slurry seal layer was later on 18 to 22 pounds per square yard. In some heavy alligator cracked areas between the type 3 pre-leveling and the final layer, we were putting in around 50 to 70 pounds per square yard. So imagine comparing one little 1 pound weight block to like a 20-pound dumbbell. That's basically the difference between amount that's being placed between a Sealcoat and a slurry seal. Sealcoat being that little 1 pound block, and then slurry seal being the 20-pound dumbbell. That's a real like weight example, like number to number. And again, Sealcoat has its place, but when somebody wants more than just a temporary black coating and wants to fill in the texture, add body, and actually build a maintenance system over time and actually see where your money's going, that's exactly where I recommend slurry seal.